Georgia Tech travels to Boulder to take on Colorado this Friday night. Kickoff is set for 8 o'clock on ESPN. Now, Georgia Tech comes into the game as a 4.5-point favorite, which, by the way I look at football, that means really anyone could win this game. Now, what's interesting is that these two teams have never played before, but they share a little bit of history. They split the 1990 national championship. Yes, kids, we used to do that. No playoff, not even a no one versus number two decided by a computer. No. Anyway, it'll be interesting for them to play one another. And I think Boulder, just that surrounding area, you get the aerial views. I love this background here. It's nice, right? Okay, so let's dive into the game instead of me talking about that geographical area. Let's start off with Brent Key. This guy has taken a Cellar team that was an easy win and turned them into a team that could beat Miami 2 years in a row, ruining their season. Was one of the reasons they were left outside of the college football playoff and the ACC championship. And almost beat Georgia. It took the Bulldogs, 8 overtimes to beat them? On the other side, you have Deion Sanders. I don't even have to talk about the guy that much. He's still the guy who played for the Falcons and the Braves all in the same day. And he just gave Colorado their best season they've had in years. But this season brings a massive turnover. His son, Shedeur, a guy who threw for a ton of yards, been playing for him forever, he's gone. Travis Hunter, a guy who played basically every snap of every game on both sides of the football, gone. Now, Travis Hunter is was one of their top four wide receivers. Their top four wide receivers, gone. They've lost, I believe, 3 starters on the offensive line, and hey, they were not burning up the woods. Sanders was running for his life most of the time. But they're even having to rebuild there. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be an offense. I'm going to get into their offense in just a second. But they really had to hit the portal it was just hard. It looks like they pulled a player from each team in the country. Georgia Tech's kind of done that as well. I'll get to that in a moment. Defensively, more of the same. As I said, Travis Hunter's gone. Shiloh Sanders is gone. Colorado loses 6 of its top 10 tacklers, including the top 3 overall. That's a big deal. Let's flip to the other sideline. Georgia Tech, they do come in with starting quarterback Haynes King, a guy that is a true workhorse. You don't see too many of his type anymore. You really don't. He passed for over 2,000 yards, 14 touchdowns in the air while rushing for 587 yards and 11 scores. You have to respect what he does. On the other hand, they bring in their leading rusher, Jamal Haynes. He rushed for almost 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. But just like Colorado, Georgia Tech is rebuilding up front. They lose most of their offensive line. And out of their top 4 wide receivers, only one of them returns. That's Malik Rutherford. Now, he was the leading reception. How do you say that? Receiver by receptions. Yeah, see, I just learned something here on this video. But he was second in yardage with 700 yards and 3 touchdowns. Defensively, the Jackets return their 2 leading tacklers, Kyle Efford and Amari Harvey. But they lose 5 of their top 10. And on top of that, they lose Tyler Santucci, their defensive coordinator. That's a big deal, a change of leadership on that side of the ball. And he's replaced by Blake Gideon. So what's really the storyline here? Well, let's talk about what the storyline was. A lot of the hype around Colorado was not just Deion. It wasn't just Travis Hunter. It was Deion and his 2 sons and what some people called his adopted son, Travis Hunter. All 4 of them, they had made this move from Jackson State to Colorado, and they were turning things around. And out of the 4, only one is left, and it's Coach Sanders. That storyline that you've had for the past few years at Colorado, it's gone. Now, Colorado brought in Caden Salter. This guy is a transfer quarterback from Liberty. And they named him the starter over 5-star freshman quarterback Julian Lewis. Now, we know that Deion's going to have them ready. They're not going to lay down and die. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at Georgia Tech. This is in Boulder at Folsom Field. So it's not like they're just going to lay down and die. But let me tell you the key to this game. Haynes King. He is the type of guy to throw a game on his literal shoulders, run you over, sacrifice his body, and every time you think he is hurt and he can't get up and go again, he gets right back up, straightens up his pads, straightens up his helmet, and he does it to you all over again. Just ask Miami and Georgia. In addition, you throw in that you have Haynes in there with him. Their leading rusher. I think between these two and the continuity that they have in their careers, along with Brent Key and his guidance, I think that's going to be a difference. I'm going to tell you, this is kind of splitting hairs here, but when I look at Haynes King, that's the big variable for me that pushes me to say that Georgia Tech will go into Folsom and beat Deion Sanders and Colorado. Let me know in the comments section below what you think. If you like what I'm doing, I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll pass it along to anyone who loves college football, because this channel is brand new and it would help it grow. By the way, subscribing is free. You take care of yourself.